All right, good morning, everyone. It is 8:41 in the morning of October 5th, 2021, and this is my trading strategy session. So it is, again, another really quiet morning for the scanners. There are two stocks on my large cap scanner, and that's it. Usually there are at least a dozen, maybe 2 dozen stocks on there, whether they're green or red. This morning there are two green stocks, but their pre-market volume is 69 shares and 97 shares, GNRC and KKR, which is like minuscule volume. So, yeah, nothing on the large cap scanner this morning. And then the small cap scanner, the top two leading gappers right now is MARPS. The leading gapper is MARPS. And I can't find any news on this other than it's the leading gapper this morning. Apparently there's somebody on Twitter talking this thing up. And so pump and dump. I mean, really, seriously, this thing could give some entries, but there's no news. There's no company news. There's nothing going on with the stock that is anything new from the previous day, really, at all. So I don't know why it's running so high pre-market. My guess is this thing. With it not trading on any news, doesn't pay a dividend. It's a Marine Petroleum Trust. And usually these trusts pay a dividend or something. Oh, okay, no, it does pay a dividend of 2.53%. But usually these things trade sort of like you would see a bond trade, So with yields going up, I can't imagine, unless they decide to raise their dividend, let's see, 6 cents, 3 cents, 2 cents, 0.007 cents, 4 cents. I just don't see, unless somebody has some insider information, I just don't see this thing, doing anything today. I think all the action's been in the pre-market. I could be wrong. This thing could push up, traders could jump on it today and make it run, but I seriously doubt it goes anywhere, really. USEG. Now there are headlines on USEG. This company has taken on some debt here. Let me. Okay. So U.S. energy surges after 99.5 million oil and gas buyouts. And they actually did something kind of smart here, and they, let me see if I can find it again. The company will issue around 20 million shares of common stock, pay 1.25 million of cash, and assume 3.3 million of sellers' debts. So they did something kind of smart, and that is that they, used the market. They sold stock into the market in order to raise the cash to make the acquisition. That's something that Wall Street likes. Wall Street likes leverage. How this plays out, though, today, I don't see it being anything that really makes a big run, because it's going to be, in the long term, it's going to be, how well does this company use the funds that it raised, through the market. So there's a lot of time on this one. There are people this morning, obviously, who are saying, hey, I'm willing to put my money, if there are investors in the pre-market, there are investors who have bought in this price area to say, hey, I believe in what you're doing, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So I tend to think when things like this pop up, it's worth if you're interested in buying it, investing in it, it'll be worth waiting a month until the price settles back down again. Look at this back on the, what is that? It's the 29th of September 2020, a little over a year ago. This thing opened at $17 and we'll call it 25 cents, and closed at $6.73. And I don't see the pre-market. I don't have the pre-market on dailies, but I imagine that in pre-market it was doing something similar to what it's doing this morning in the pre-market, but on a more significant scale, greater scale. So again, USEG, I don't really see much happening with it today. MARPS could trade today. I seriously doubt USEG trades very well today. I'm not very interested in either one, but they're the leading gappers. So it's like, ANVS. Now, this is one that's popping up on news that it's drug candidate. ANVS Bio announces positive phase 2 efficacy data for the treatment of Parkinson's disease. So phase 2, I mean, that's not phase 3. That's not, an FDA approval. That they are going to be able to go into phase 3 trials on this. That's good news for the company. That's good news for the drug, but it's not anything worth. I don't think it's worth investing in. Especially take a look at the daily here. Look at this daily chart here. On the 28th of July, 2021, this thing closed at $109.44 per share. And then it opened the next day at $59.67 and closed at 43. And it's now been hanging around the low 30s, high 20s for the past 2 months, 3 months. There's a possibility ANVS could trade today. We'll see what happens. I kind of doubt it. I think the move has been made in the pre-market already. All right, so then NTLA, this is just one I was looking at my large cap movers list for something moving, and pre-market NTLA is moving. But the volume is so extremely light this morning on NTLA. So it's not moving. It just moved. So let me see, NTLA. I think the pre-market volume is like in the 2,082 shares have been traded pre-market. So this 3.33% increase in price pre-market is most likely going to fade away pretty quickly. Yeah, so that's everything that I have on watch this morning for from the pre-market scanners. The broader market, the SPY, if it opened up right now, it would open up 0.45% higher than the previous close. The SPY, I mean, look at it. It looks bearish. That is, I don't know if we're in a correction or if this is the top of the market for a long time and doomsday is coming. I tend to think it's just a correction. We're correcting. The market is correcting. And I think that's about it. Let's see. The low on this dip right here is 428.86. Let's see where the SPY closed. 428.86. SPY closed just beneath it yesterday. Interesting. That on its face, I mean, if you're just calling balls and strikes, that's bearish. So, a lower close is a lower close. Even if it's only by about 10 cents. I don't know. Do we get the full rollover? There's a gap down here between 403.38 and 400.67 that would represent a correction from the very top, a correction of, if it gets all the way to the bottom of the gap, it'd be an 11.77% correction. It's okay. There is this gap back here. It's been there for a long time, just kind of waiting to be backfilled again. So, we'll see what happens. VIX. The VIX is hanging around above the gap that I have on it. These white dotted lines right here are a gap that was put in between February of 2020 from the shutdowns, the lockdowns, and the market dumped. And this gap just tends to coincide with some levels on the SPY. So I don't put a lot of emphasis on it, but it's just sort of a general guideline. On occasion, I will use it. So I would like to see the VIX come back down and close beneath this 22 level and then start its way down. This trend line right here, this is a fast line that I drew. This is the 20th of September, and this is the 1st of October. And so we'll see how, we'll see how this line behaves, or we'll see how the VIX behaves. If it continues to just kind of draw down along this trend line, then we should be starting to make a few more bullish moves on the broader market. Bitcoin, big time Bitcoin. Look at this thing. I'm really impressed with this area right in here. It had to defend that. If it didn't, it was going much lower, and it did manage to pull itself up. Bitcoin buyers have come in to buy this region, this 40,000 to 42,000 region, and now I imagine that it's on its way to challenging this recent pivot. It's not actually a pivot, but this recent high right here at roughly 53,000. I think Bitcoin is on its way to challenge that 53,000 mark. That is it. I guess there are a couple things here. So oil, I picked up some calls at strike of 21 back here. So it put in this sort of like shooting star. It's not really a shooting star, but I think I only had 2 contracts, and I think I only have 2 contracts now. Let me actually look. I only have 2 contracts. So on this day right here, I sold the contracts that I have. I think they were $20 strikes. And I bought them on the move, the break above this 1978, and then sold them right here at 2077. Made a few bucks, not bad. And I was expecting a rather significant sell-off to kind of maybe come back and backtest this 1978, but it's not. And so it broke above. Well, I bought more 2 days ago, so I have 2 contracts. Strikes are $21 strikes, and this morning, if it opened up, it would open up at 21.77, and it looks like it's going to try and make a push for this 21.98 on this next leg up right here. It looks like 21.98 is going to be a spot for the B&O to either blaze through it or spend a couple days bumping into it and fading away and then breaking through. My strikes expire on the 1st of January, the 21st, 21st of January 2022. So these things are, I've got about 3 months to just kind of let them ride. I am in the money a little bit. It's nice to see. All right. Investing view. So this is a really small miner, Bitcoin miner. And it's looking to me like a decent place to start averaging into. This is between 11.5 cents and 5 cents. So if I can start getting price action in between these 2 numbers right here, then I'll start stacking up this extremely cheap. I'll probably average into about 10,000 shares, which comes out to, was that somewhere around $700 for the 10,000 shares. This thing has, this stock has some work to do. This is extremely speculative. There are 3 billion shares outstanding on this thing. They recently filed paperwork in order to do a 20 up to a 1 for 20, not split. What do you call it? Reverse split. So yeah, Investing View, this thing has a lot of work to do. So getting in between 12 and 5 cents per share and averaging in over the next, I'd say probably like year. No, maybe not a year, maybe the next 6 months. And then just kind of letting it sit there for 5 years and see what happens. It wants to be a player in the Bitcoins or in the crypto space. We'll see what happens. And then, yeah, again, here I was just kind of looking around for ideas today to see if there's something that I have on one of my lists that'll pop up. And it's pretty much large cap movers and small caps. So let's see what's going on with the watching list here. No, really nothing going on with the watch list. All right, everybody. Good luck out there. Keep your risks tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at the recap. I am out.